What could be better than going to sleep after a rough day, having some rest? But what if sleep doesn't come? You don't understand how important things are in your life unless you are deprived from them. And how important sleep is. You do only understand when you've been through a phase where you have had sleepless nights. When you can't fall asleep, when you're forced to sit or lie with your own thoughts, and when you just can't switch off. I've been thinking about this forced state of being conscious for some time now, for obvious reasons. And I've been thinking about how we do not understand the cycle of work and rest. And by work, I don't mean work for somebody else, just, being awake and doing things, living in this waking state. When you don't have those phases where you can switch off for a period of time, you don't have this reset. So everything just keeps moving. And this is really exhausting. So usually when you have a rough time or something, you just, you go to bed and you sleep and you just rest, and the next day is very often a bit better. So this is a sort of escape. Sleep is escape from this waking state. But when you don't have this option, when your body doesn't let you sleep, you are forced to stay in this waking state. And the realization that there's no escape from this world, no escape from the experience that you have, can be quite draining and frustrating. So when the last hope you had after a period of time to rest and to reset yourself and just have a few hours of charging your batteries, but you don't get it when you know that you don't achieve this state, it can be so frustrating. And I've been thinking how eternal existence actually works. Of course, our life that we have here is different from eternal existence, but the mere idea that it doesn't stop, that it always continues, sometimes I'm not sure if I really would want that. People who end their lives, they want to escape this reality. But what if it never stops? If it continues on the other end, what's the point of leaving? So waking up to this realization that the state of being is eternal and that you cannot change it, that you cannot consciously say that, okay, I'm switching myself off now, I'm having some time off from this life, from this world. It's quite a harsh realization. Usually our body does this by itself, we just fall asleep and we have our rest. But yeah, that's not always the case. So understanding what rest really means through this phase of not being able to rest, it's quite an experience, I have to say. And also the perspective of our eternal life. What does it actually mean, and what is sleep? It's like a time out. It's like this opportunity to recalibrate yourself. I mean, we are not entirely without doing anything when we sleep. Of course, our body keeps running the crucial mechanisms that we need to stay alive, and our mind also continues to process many things in our sleep, but still there is this layer of a timeout that you are granted actually every day, and I really see it as a granted feature and factor in our lives that is actually very beneficial and also needed. But yeah, sometimes you don't get that, and it makes you wonder about time, of course, and about everything, about this reality, and about what is on the other side. How does it feel? How is eternal awareness being experienced? Because it's always said that you are awareness, you are pure awareness. But doesn't one get tired of being aware, understanding things, realizing things, being? At least in this 3D world, you get tired. And you really crave for rest. And many people say at the end of their lives that they have seen enough and they are ready to rest and coming to the point where there's fulfillment after a long life. But we have this experience of it, coming full circle every day actually, when we crave for sleep, for rest. It's a cycle, the daily cycle, but also our entire life is a cycle. But it doesn't always express itself in the manner we would like to. So yeah, what happens when you cannot escape this 3D awareness with all your sensations, thoughts, dreams, wishes, experiences of all kinds?